Okay. Welcome everyone to episode 17 of Rise and Grind. Raymond, you're first, definitely. We see you out there. Coyote, how are you feeling? You just rose, right? Are you ready to grind?
Yeah, I literally just rose. I'm actually still in my actually no, I'm grinding, but I haven't risen yet because
Yeah,
I'm
you haven't
still
risen
in
yet.
I'm still in my bed.
But
So
the grind never stops.
the grind is there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Should we go through the news? I think we had some fun stuff
Yeah,
going on. I'll share my
we
screen.
should. Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Um, so firstly we have our first Nearvember challenge,
Haha.
which is mint an NFT on Near. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Um, can you go back to the tweet? There was something about $10,000, I think $10,000
Yeah.
prize. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty major.
Yeah, that's a
So
big one.
so you just need to mint an NFT and then I guess like a lucky winner will get airdrop some near or something. I wonder what.
Yeah, it says join the Discord, so maybe it's like
Yeah.
in the Discord. I don't know, but that's cool. It's a pretty hefty prize.
We always link the links afterwards, so be sure to check out this tweet if you're interested and join the Discord to find out more. I just want to clarify that
Mhm.
I coined, okay, I won't say I, but me, Nakamiado, who's coming on later, hopefully, and also shout out to Deedle, who's like the founder of DVPN at Cosmos. Like we were talking and we were like, we need a hashtag to make Near pop off after NearCon.
Mhm.
And we are like near November. And then the community decided near November was better. But I want to clarify that myself and Nakamiado were the first ones to coin the very term. And now Near Protocol is using it. So
Wow, you guys
let it be
planted the seed and
yeah,
look what
exactly.
it's become.
Okay, this one I can
Um,
take. It just came out. So Reddit. Oh, there's a subreddit for Near Protocol on Reddit, and they're doing a Nearpunk giveaway. Look at this funky Nearpunk. I mean, Nearpunk is a
aw.
classic within the Near community. I have it for sure. A lot of people have it, and you would want to get in on it because they're only 1,000. So all you have to do is go to Reddit, follow r/Near Protocol, DM a proof of following it to the u/official Near Protocol. So like take a picture and then DM it to them, and then drop your Near wallet in the comments. So and then you might be able to win this Nearpunk.
Cool. Cute. Um, yeah, I put this on here. I'm always finding like weird NFT artists that I like. But this one, yeah, it's like it's near eyes.
Uh huh.
It's like these
And they're
eyeball guys.
villains.
Oh, they're villains. Okay, yeah, near eye villains. Yeah, they're like little
Oh, look at
evil
this.
guys. They're kind of cute
Here
though.
they are. I like this one.
Yeah, they're just oh, there's a Joker one.
Oh, this one's already sold out. Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And then there's oh,
All
sorry, I
right.
haven't even done yet.
And there's
And
a
near knots,
to
yeah.
add to the NFT news, Near Knots, who just did a giveaway for their upcoming drop, so they like allocated some NFTs for like this doing this Twitter takeover. They're doing another giveaway, so get into it. Like, look at this shit. Near Knots is a really cool generative PFP project that is about to drop on December 1st. So we'll link this tweet later. Please get involved. Like you don't want to miss out. I don't think.
I think I know somebody who maybe like won like one of the
Yeah,
NFTs, like
I might know
somebody.
someone. Definitely, like
I
I
think
know I sound sarcastic, but definitely not like rigged at all. Really, like I don't know them. I don't know. I was just simping in
you
the
were
right
just
way.
simping so hard, and then you're like, gotta give it to her. Um, yeah, I threw this in there. I just thought it was cool. Oh, it's actually the artist that we were talking about the other day.
Fiction Spawn, yeah.
Fiction Spawn NFT artist. He or they, I don't know. They were posting about this basically a Danish Norwegian community group. Said so
Nice.
far still 7 members still searching, and in the top tweet, they were mentioning kind of what they're doing. They're trying to either they already have or they're trying to make a virtual NFT gallery. Because
Nice.
yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah, yeah.
were shouting
So
out somebody about their NFT
yeah, so this
gallery.
this virtual NFT gallery is SOTA, right? State of the art, that the Swagger DAO and the Near Week boys are doing. So
Oh,
they
okay.
right they had like that launch post about that really cool
Yeah.
virtual NFT gallery. So
Mhm.
I think I it's really cool. I didn't know Fiction Spawn was what is he like a Norwegian or something?
I
Well,
guess
I
so,
didn't
yeah.
yeah,
Danish,
so I
Norwegian.
didn't know that, but he should definitely get connected to the Swagger DAO gang because they're all from Copenhagen. They're Danish, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
for sure.
Nice. So
Cool.
cool. So if you
Yeah.
are Norwegian, if you live up north, get involved. Let Fiction Spawn know.
Yep.
The next one from some DeFi news.
Yeah. Near gave Jumbo Exchange a grant.
I think
Um,
Ozymandias was going off about this yesterday, about how he's really excited about this new Dex.
oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, so it's supposed to be apparently the most UI UX friendly AMM exchange on your protocol. Let's see how it goes. That's pretty exciting. Looking like the DeFi landscape is expanding every day.
Yeah, I think they're planning to launch like the first quarter of 2022.
Okay,
So
nice. A
that's
lot of
coming up.
stuff lined up during that time, it seems.
Hmm.
And this one?
Yeah. Yeah. So Ref is having a Aurora. They're supporting the Aurora TGE. Within the first 2 weeks, there's like 4x rewards, and then there's also there was something about the farming. Hold on, I kind of yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty
4x
juicy.
boost rewards in the first 2 weeks. Yeah, and then double rewards with farming. That's what it was.
Damn. So I'm looking at
Um,
the Aurora near pool on farm on Ref Finance right now, and you get three different reward tokens. Oh, actually two different. Oh, so that's what they mean by double reward. So that you get two token rewards.
mhm.
So you get Ref and you get Aurora. So if you participated in the IDOs for Aurora and you have some Aurora on you, definitely go farm this like 4x double token
Mhm.
rewards. That's pretty juicy, I have to say.
Yep, yep. And it's open. It started at 1 a.m. UTC, which
Yeah, it's
was
fresh. It's
yeah,
fresh.
it's a
So
freshie.
continuing on Refinance, this just came out also like a few hours ago. They're hinting at a new feature, which is super exciting. This is the first time on Near, I believe, that you were seeing a stable swap feature. So this is like a little alpha leak that the stable swap is coming to Refinance. So
Very
okay,
cool.
and as Kanzi Lima has pointed out, the Aurora farm on Ref currently has apparently 375% APR, which is, yeah, that's pretty juicy. Yeah.
Very cool.
Right. I'm gonna go do a little quick change
Okay.
for our next guest and host. If you have some like final words to share, I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. So I hope everyone's enjoying the show so far today. Um, Rem has a little bit of a theatric something that she's wanting to pull off. So basically, yeah, I just have to stall. Oh,
So I'm back.
there it is.
All right, and
Whoa.
this is to celebrate our next guest. Hello, Jordan, or AKA Star Paws. Welcome to
Hello.
the stream.
Uh-oh.
Coyote, thank you so much for helping out with the news. We'll take the Nia Chan will take this segment from here.
Okay, awesome. You guys have fun.
Oh, thank you. Is my mic audible? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you.
great. I don't
Great.
see
Hey,
anything like
Jordan.
bouncing. Hello. Hello, Near Chan.
Funny seeing you here.
Yeah, likewise, likewise.
Aren't you
Um,
technically my creator?
well, I would say that a DAO is your creator, but
Oh, I
yes, I
see.
sit on that DAO council.
I see. So you're like,
So,
I can call you dad, probably.
whoa, okay.
Okay, reeling it in.
Go there.
So today's product deep dive is on AstroDAO with Jordan Gray, or aka Starpause. Let's start off by introducing yourself. Could you introduce yourself? Who are you, and what is your role in AstroDAO?
Yeah. So thanks for that brief intro. Basically, I'm part of Near Labs, which is a group inside of Near Foundation that takes internal tooling and also helps external projects turn into companies and spin out. So AstroDAO is one of those things where it's the DAO tooling on Near, and it is the front end that makes all of the like powerful DAO tooling on Near easy to
Mm-hmm.
use for everyday folks. So that's what Astro's about. And then my role in it is after joining Near Labs, took on basically the role of like leading the whole project. So we don't do like stuffy titles. So I'm the Taoist there, since I
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
the Diane Qigong. I love Taoism before Taoists were a thing.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I rolled with Taoist, and yeah, I'm leading the project. My partner in the project is Ankit,
Mm.
and together we have a bunch of fun stuff going to help people get started with their DAOs. Like there's the DAO Cubator and a bunch of other resources that we have for folks. But yeah, basically making it easier for people to make DAOs, and then also this week getting into a lot of like legal nitty gritty with a bunch of them as
Right.
well.
Right. Which is a hot topic.
Indeed, very
Yeah.
hot topic. Yeah,
Okay,
and
before we
then
get into AstroDAO and
mhm,
more about the product itself, I think we have to address the elephant in the room,
mhm.
which is, what is a DAO?
Oh yeah, that's a big
Yeah,
elephant.
yeah. So I think
So
the focus
yeah,
should be, how would you explain to a non-technical person, maybe a non-crypto person, what a DAO is? So
mhm,
often I know that Ilya, when he gives talks on DAOs, he says he describes DAOs as Facebook groups with bank accounts. Like, do you think
mhm.
that's an accurate enough description? And do you have another way of kind of conveying the idea of a DAO to people?
Yeah, I think that like at a high level, that's a nice soundbite. I
Hmm.
think that like that's one kind of group that a DAO can represent. I usually break it down just into the semantics of what decentralized, autonomous, and organization actually
Hmm.
mean. So if you talk about a Facebook group, that's one kind of organization that exists or can be a DAO. Is just like a group of friends for any purpose. It could be a chat room on Facebook, a chat room on Telegram, a chat room anywhere. Um, or it could be like a group of friends going on vacation together,
Right.
or any kind of like small little task where people are aligned on something together.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of like is what makes a DAO. And the alignment around a goal for the organization can be big or small. Like it could be something Wall Street bet sized, it could
Mm-hmm.
be the vacations sized. A lot of the DAOs that we see on Near have like a council in between like 3 to 7 people or thereabouts, but there's ones that have like up to 50, over
Mm-hmm.
50. So it's really like there's no one size fits all for DAOs.
Okay.
They're 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 all different sizes. An organization, it could be a traditional company, it could be a nonprofit, it could
Mm-hmm.
be a co-op. There's no end to the kinds of organizations that could be represented. So
Right.
that's the organization bit, and we can
Right.
put
Yeah.
that aside. And then there's the decentralized and autonomous bits to cover off on. And with decentralization, I usually talk to the fact that decentralization can be both the power structure. So DAOs are very often used so that people can operate together. So it is usually more cooperative than a traditional organization where you'd have like
Mm-hmm.
a single CEO that is making all of the decisions, and a bunch of middle management that then like
Sure. Yeah.
implements those decisions and things like that. In a DAO, it's by default it's flatter than that. And again, you could use a DAO to make any power structure you want, but by default, DAOs are more cooperative. And
Mhm.
one of the things that does is because there's less like middle management and people making those like decision-making organizational jobs and choices, then the people putting effort into the DAO get more back out of it because there's less like cruft and middlemen involved.
Right.
So it distributes the power, and then it also allows people to work together from all over the world. So I think that's one common theme amongst a lot of the DAOs is that they are like geographically divergent. There are DAOs that are just about like local clubs, and there's not one right way to DAO, but a lot of them do have people who are working together from all over the world. And it reminds me a lot of like early internet days when you're meeting people that are into the same stuff you're into, and then you can like actually like do something about that. Like early internet, I was meeting people that were into anime and trading VHS tapes with them, like subs, like fan subs and stuff like that. And then DAOs came along, and suddenly like the anime nerds can make a character together, and we get Near Chan. So it's a lot like early internet for me. Yeah, hence Near Chan, and Near Chan was born. And then we can talk about too the automation bit, and that also plays into the fact that like the value going into a DAO goes more directly back to the folks who are part of it, and that's because a lot of the paperwork, the drudgery, the tasks that would require people shuffling around data can be done automatically by rules that are set up in a smart contract. So everybody agrees on how things should work, and then you don't have to like have everybody like going down to the voting polling place. Like you can just do it on your phone. You can make decisions on your phone and have that decision live on the chain. And then when decisions are made, especially on AstroDAO, anything that you could do as a user on Near Protocol, you can do as a DAO, as a group. So a lot of things can be automated, and there's additional tooling around the DAOs like Croncat and the multi-call tool where you can actually automate a lot of what's going on, and you can even automate like the oracling of off-chain data to influence like the creation of a proposal or something like that. For if you're doing something like a creative guild where you want to reward people for retweeting or liking posts or something like that, you can oracle that data and make a proposal when a Twitter account retweets something, and then be able to easily pay them for work like that. So a lot of automation is going on, and some of that too is like, I think part of just like the nature of work right now, and what we're seeing as the next work revolution is a lot of decision-making jobs going away, and people don't like that because people love their jobs where they sit at desks and make decisions. But as AI gets better and better, there's going to be less and less of those jobs as we have more tools like DAOs that take away all of the middle management and make it easy to automate work together using smart contracts. Like all those things are taking away the kind of like decision-making and boring jobs that keep people kind of like busy. It's really busy work. And then that means that people are free to work on more interesting things. So I think that we're going to see like a creative work revolution where a lot of creators are starting to get paid for like, or people are going to start seeing more of the value that is in creative work. And I do think that we're starting to see that already with NFTs and with the contributions people are making to DAOs and being able to get paid for them. So I think that it's not a work revolution that's too far away.
Sure. So I picked up on a few things from what you were saying. So for instance, the way that we can characterize the essence of what a DAO is, that it's first of all, it's first and foremost a tool, right? A tool for decision making for any kind of organization or collective, right? And because it's on blockchain, because it's using the code that is law according to smart contract, because it's on a more flatter landscape because of the nature of a decentralized ecosystem, you take away all of the kind of inefficiencies or injustices of a kind of more traditional decision-making process, I would say. And you bring that all on chain. You make you make the the decisions and the decision making process more transparent, more absolutely public, obviously, and then you bring it on. So you bring all of the things, and all of the things that we would say that blockchain kind of solves for age-old problems. It would happen with DAOs as well on the level of governance and decision making. So would that be
Yeah.
a kind of good way to understand what DAOs are?
I would say so, yeah. And we didn't like get to some of the the nitty-gritty of like what you actually do with DAOs, and that's basically like it boils down to the tool allowing you to make proposals, vote on proposals, and then
Yeah,
also like hold assets together. That's another
of
big
course. Yeah,
feature of
right.
like a DAO lives at a wallet address, and any DAO you can send any asset to it on your protocol. So you can send your NFTs to a DAO, you can send your fungible tokens to a DAO, you can send your near to a DAO, and it just like lives in that wallet address, and that's the treasury of the DAO. So it's a lot of people don't realize that it's even that simple to send funds to a DAO. Is like when you make your DAO, you get a wallet address, and that's where all your funds live. That's your treasury.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think because of that, there are so many interesting experiments that are happening. For instance, I know that the Marma J Foundation as a DAO, they're co-collecting and owning NFTs, right? They have this
Mhm.
whole Marma J Chan,
Yep.
the remix of the Near Chan contest. And they're,
Yep.
as a DAO, having a collective decision-making process to buy these NFTs and co-own it as a DAO. So there are so many things that it seems like DAOs enable on the one hand for convenience and also
hmm
for possibilities. Like what can you do as an organization?
hmm Definitely, yeah. And I think we're going to see a lot more of those possibilities exploding, especially with the maturing of the tools around DAOs, because there's options of, besides just having a list of people who are on a council, you can define people who belong in governance based on if they own a fungible token or not,
Right. Yeah.
if they own an NFT or not, if they own an NFT by a specific creator or not. Like there's so many possibilities for things that can be automated, and things like the fungible token ownership or the NFT ownership, putting people into governance groups is again a really powerful automation feature, because then anybody who wants to become part of a community just goes and gets that token, and you don't have to add them to a list or take them off a list or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's just it updates in real time.
Yeah. So I want to do a little product demo for anyone who's kind of not familiar with AstroDAO at this point. This is, first of all, the AstroDAO main interface. So you go here, you launch the app, and I want to kind of walk through the process of creating a DAO so that anyone who's interested in creating their own DAO can kind of see, how user friendly has AstroDAO made it to create your own DAO, and what are the options that you get. So when I press create a DAO, you get these four options: foundation, club, corporation, and cooperative. Could you explain a little bit more about, the thought behind making these four categories and how do they differ from one another?
hmm Yeah. So the idea with AstroDAO is to like make it super simple for Web2 folks or anybody who's not a crypto native to come up to the tool and see their use case in it.
Mhm.
And that was the thought behind these kind of like they're not personas, but they're things that people would do with DAOs.
Mhm.
And as we were working on AstroDAO, we were doing a lot of case studies and talking to users of all different kinds. And these four use cases kind of stood out to us. So
Mhm.
we offer them as like options on the front, as like, okay, if you're doing one of these things, you can go ahead and just click on one of them and you'll get a configuration that sits pretty well with those goals. I think that after having this up for a few months and watching people interact with it, and um, like looking at the DAO creation process, on the UX front, I think that there's even an opportunity in the DAO creation process to make it more of an educational experience, because
Uh-huh.
when a lot of people see these four options, they might resonate with one of them, but then the next question they have is, as soon as they click on one of these things, is what are all these options? And
Right. Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff to explain. So most of the time, honestly, most people just click on foundation because it's the first option, and the first option always gets the most clicks. And we made that the first option also because if you do a foundation, it is the same rule set as if you had set up a Sputnik.fund DAO,
Uh-huh.
like a V1
Uh-huh.
DAO back in the
Uh-huh.
day,
Oh, I see.
so long
Yeah.
ago. then then you get a foundation set up, which basically means that as a DAO, the council is the folks who do the voting. The council
Mm-hmm.
makes the voting, and then also anybody can make a proposal to it. So it's like open. Um,
Okay, I see.
and the voting power being democratic or weighted, that's like about democratic means it's seat based, so each
Mhm.
single person gets a single vote. If you do weighted, or in the future when we have the NFT
Right, yeah,
voting
yeah,
represented here, then it's like how many tokens you own can influence the weight of your vote.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
um, for most people, I still suggest like seat based voting, even though under the hood it's possible to do the token
Mm-hmm.
weighted voting. Just because it opens up a potential attack vector. If you have a large enough community,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not as big a deal. But if you're just starting out and you just launched your token, it's
Mm-hmm.
not outlandish to think that somebody could come and like buy all your tokens and
Yeah.
take over your DAO. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's for more mature projects to like
Yeah,
look at those options.
that makes
Um,
sense.
so yeah, those are that's kind of the different things, the different
Mhm.
options here
Right.
about how you would like configure the DAO. And in the future, I think we'll give each one of these its own step so that people can really
Yeah.
like learn what the decision means and what the options are. But you can go ahead and hit next, and we have a little interstitial that says, "Hey, things on the blockchain are permanent. Everything is transparent. Have fun out there." And we're going to be replacing this with some like
Uh-huh.
more meaningful terms and conditions that help people like understand also like the legal structures that they can set up around
Yeah,
their DAOs.
yeah, yeah.
um, but for now, that's basically the message is, hey, it's permanent, and yes, everybody can see this. And on this page, the name is really the only thing that's permanent. The purpose can be updated later, but yeah, when you choose the name for your DAO, that's like a significant choice you're making.
Okay. I'm gonna create a DAO that's for like a community DAO, like my own foundation. So I'm gonna name it like the Rim Simps DAO.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna create a social token and then add it to the DAO treasury. And so anyone who's invested in being a part of my community can buy that token and be a part of the DAO. And then you see the DAO addresses automatically generated.
Yep. And
Okay,
that's the address that you can send tokens to.
nice.
Purpose. Sounds like we just heard what the purpose was.
Okay.
Simping hard.
Simping hard on Rim. There you go. And I can add a link if I had a website or something like that, right?
Yep. Telegram, Discord, etc.
And then what is this flag idea?
So the idea was to be able to give people an easy option for creating their icon, because there's this idea of like it's a bank account, a Facebook group with a bank account. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people aren't necessarily like a an organization or a company that has their own logo and
Sure, sure,
like
sure.
all these formalities that a traditional company would have. So we
Right,
wanted
okay.
an easy way for people to have kind of like a default way of identifying their DAO or guild amongst all the others without having their own logo. So that's what the flags is about. Um, of course, as soon as we launched, one of the first features people were asking for was the ability to upload their logos. So that's coming
Right.
soon. Um, because everybody who has gone through that process and has created a logo loves their logo very much and
Yeah, of
wants it to be
course.
visible. So that's definitely coming. And yeah, it looks like,
Looks like I have a DAO.
yep,
Should I
we
launch
just got
it?
to, are we going to be simping? Yes.
So obviously I'm already connected to my wallet, and then the
Hmm.
initial setup requires 5 near. Could you explain a little bit more about what the 5 near is doing?
Yep, for sure. So, um, AstroDAO and the underlying like smart contracts are actually like DAO launchers. So there's a factory which is every time somebody creates a new DAO, it creates a smart contract on their behalf and makes them the owner of that smart contract.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a similar setup to what Mintbase is doing, and it puts the ownership of the DAO like squarely on the person, and that's really cool because like, while DAOs are powerful and Astro gives you a great start, like, what if you want to upgrade your DAO to do something custom?
Mm-hmm.
That's possible because you are the owner of the DAO. And another important aspect of that is like, nobody can come and like rug you. They can't take your DAO away. You own the DAO. So it's really important to actually own your own governance, and that's what the launcher aspect is about. And
Right.
it does cost some money to store smart contracts on the Near blockchain. So that's what the 5 Near charge is about, is to actually like create your own smart contract and make you the owner of it.
Right. Okay, cool. So I just want to go briefly, before we take too long looking at all the nitty-gritty details of AstroDAO, which there are many cool features of. Just very briefly, what you can do, first of all, if you're part of the council, if you are part of the DAO, or in my case, anyone could make a proposal because I am taking on the foundation character in my voting policy. So you can create right now, request a payout, claim a bounty. We won't go into the details here. Maybe I think I would love to have you on next time to do a part 2, because not only for AstroDAO, but there's so many like debates, like the legal concerns also going into DAO, that I think we need to have a part 2. But I'll just lay it out. You can request a payout to the DAO if you already did work for them. For instance, like maybe you create an NFT for them, request a payout. For instance, if I want someone to create an NFT of me as Rim to share with my simps, then I could create a bounty saying that here I'm giving someone 100 Near to create a Rim simp NFT, and you can claim it through my DAO.
Yeah, bounties are definitely worth like their own conversation. I think that that's
Yeah,
one of the most
absolutely.
exciting features of the fact that AstroDAO collects a bunch of different DAOs. Like, it'll allow all of the DAOs to very easily execute on work that the other DAOs are like proposing and putting out to the ecosystem. So instead of having to like go to a job board or something, people in the DAO ecosystem can go check the Astro bounty list every week and be like, yes, these are the things I want to do this week, and get paid for.
Okay. Actually, now that you mention it, I think, and this kind of leads nicely to our next segment, which is working in crypto. I think every day we'll just check or maybe every week we'll check the AstroDAO bounties list, and then just do a rundown of them so that people know what kind of bounties are up for grabs through these different DAOs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Nice. All right, Jordan, I had a bunch of questions left, obviously, for you. We could talk for days about DAOs, but we
Indeed.
do have another segment. So we'll pretty please, we'll have you on next time to discuss more on
Sounds
DAOs.
good.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to see you, Near Chan.
Thanks, Dad.
All right. Take care.
Welcome to our next segment, Working in Crypto with Sir Nakamiauto. I have a question before we start. Would you like Near Chan to host, or would you like Rimberjack to host?
Let's go with Near-chan. I like Near-chan a lot more than Rimberjack, to be honest with you.
Okay. Shady. We're starting off shady today. Well noted.
Lol. Yeah,
so you're not going to be a part of the Rim Simp style. That's what I'm gathering.
Well, you should just make a Near-chan sim. So I was already trying to sign up for that one. I'm in there. I'm in there.
Jordan saying, "Oh no."
That was cool. Jordan, the work he's doing with the DAOs are so sick. I mean, it's one of the most exciting parts about Near, the tooling and the vehicles for communities to get together and make collective decisions. I absolutely love the DAO. So Jordan's doing a sick job. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, really, thank you so much, Jordan, again, for joining us and enlightening us. So today, for working in crypto, last time you met with Coyote and Sue to discuss a little bit in general about, the mindset and mentality that goes into working in crypto. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about your active involvement in giving out grants and bringing on founders to join the near ecosystem. So if I am a web3 founder, maybe I'm a developer with an idea, if I'm a builder trying to get started in crypto, but more specifically near, how would they get started? How would they coordinate and communicate with the Near Foundation? That's something that I want to discuss today. So maybe we could start off by giving a little breakdown of what is available in terms of support and grants from the Near Foundation side.
Sure. Okay, cool. I mean, people in Web3, developers, founders, it's a big, confusing world out there. And sometimes, all it is an idea, and you're starting it at the very genesis of something that's really cool. And you may not know where to go or find people to help you develop that idea, build a web interface. You might not have those skills. You've never run a business before, so you might need operational support, all those kind of things. And that's what we're about at the Near Foundation, is making sure that you get all those support mechanisms to make your idea turn into a flourishing success. So to start off with, we've got a section on the webpage that is just funding. So there's 4 different mechanisms that you go to on the webpage and apply to, just based on the different kind of funding you are trying to see. So let me just pull them up here. So we've got, I guess, open source and public goods. So if you want to build an open source protocol or platform or tool to serve the wider community, then you simply follow that page and apply, fill in your details via that method. We've got startups. So if you are forming a new business, you've got an idea, you've got a plan to execute it, you follow through there. Education initiatives. I think I mentioned it last week as well. Sharif wants 1,000 teachers on Near. I want 1,000 teachers on Near. You want 1,000 teachers on Near. We want everyone to get the word out there on how to develop and build on Web3. So if you've got an initiative where you've got exposure to students, or a tutorial program or a hackathon or anything kind of like that, then you're certainly able to apply for funding that way. And then, of course, as you were just talking, sorry, go.
Just briefly on the education initiatives, would I need to have a crypto background already? Should I need to know about Web3 technically speaking, in order to be part of this?
Well, it really depends on what angle you're taking. Are you talking about Web3 from a business perspective, and what it enables? I mean, ultimately, it's about educating the community and people that are outside of the community on the art of the possible and bringing more eyeballs in there. So everything will get reviewed. It doesn't need to be technical courses or anything like coding or anything like that. It could be a simple education course that you have a mechanism for delivering to a whole bunch of users. So that will certainly be addressed in that way too. And further to your previous conversation, the bounty awarding initiative. So we've got lots of requirements for different plugins, middleware, services on the base layer of the Near protocol. So we will often put, bounties there in which you can sort of go through what is available to develop, or if you have those kind of skills, Rust skills that you think you can contribute, and provide, libraries to the code, then you can certainly qualify for funding through those mechanisms. Now, there are also different flavors within those fundings. We've got people within the Near team who you can have a conversation with, a qualified conversation with, and based on that conversation and some agreed milestones, and then basically qualifying whether your idea is good and you're able to execute, some of us can give out a fast grant. So that's a case where you fill out a form. These are, up to the value of $50,000 worth of Near. So you simply go through a process where you fill out the form, talk about your your project, your contact details, all those kind of bells and whistles with terms and conditions and those kind of things. And then we can issue a fast grant, and generally that's done within 48 hours if you speak to a qualified person, of which I am one. So yeah. But Cam Dennis in the business development team also is delegated to provide fast grants. Sharif from an educational point of view. There are a few of us. So if you do have an idea, by all means, do feel free to reach out, and we'd happily talk that through with you. The higher funding amounts is a more drawn out process, as you can imagine. If we're going to go out giving money to more than 50,000 to entrepreneurs and businesses, we need to see a bit more behind the curtains around your execution plans, the total addressable market, how you're going to penetrate that market, how's it going to contribute to the near ecosystem from a wider perspective as well.
Sure.
But still, internally we call them slow grants because they're not fast grants, but they're still happening within 5 days or 5 days up to 2 weeks. So yeah, we're really ramping up that process and trying to give as much support as we possibly can to the builders of the open web.
Nice. So maybe could you give us an example of someone? So like you said earlier, you can start with an idea, and sometimes you don't know how to get started, who to get in touch with. Could you give us an example, maybe with a fast grant recently, that someone came with an idea, got a fast grant, and executed a project? Like, would there be a success case like this?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few of them. So at NearCon a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking to a young lady. Her name was Marie, and she is an artist and has a collective or a community of artists. And she was really interested in working in the NFT space on Near and educating the artists within her collective on how to do NFTs and the tools that they have available from marketplaces and things like Mintbase, and how to basically make digital NFTs and educate her artist community about Near and what's available to them. So it was simple as her coming up to me and having that conversation at NearCon in person. She talked me through the dream, talked me through the vision, and I awarded a grant just on the spot. It was such a wonderful feeling, because you could really see how that money would make a difference to her artist collective, and she was so excited because it was going to empower her to put additional resources into bringing all these wonderful creative people into a new world, which will help them broaden their audience, pass out to a wider community that are appreciating NFTs, and also with that comes financial recognition as well. With a wider audience, someone appreciating your art, it means the artist will hopefully be able to get paid for their work. So just to see that in person, a lot of these transactions are done over the phone or over a web conference or something like that. So to actually do that in person and award that on the spot after another colleague introduced her to me was fantastic. So it was as simple as an idea of bringing a whole bunch of existing artists who are in the analog art space, so to speak, and bringing in and educating them what's possible in the digital space as well. And that's exactly the kind of behavior that we want to promote and encourage. So yeah, definitely qualified for a grant. And when it comes to what we think about when we qualify for a grant, it's how is this going to how is this going to move the needle for the open web or the web 3.0 community? Is it going to bring more eyeballs to the space? Is it going to bring more wallets to Near? Is it going to bring more transactions to Near? All those kind of details from a project perspective, or what's the wider good or the benefit for the Near ecosystem? Is it a really good piece of code? Our good friends Croncats, they built that code. They received a grant from the foundation because that code is absolutely integral to a lot of apps that we'll build on the Near blockchain in the future. So it's empowering people to provide and contribute to something that's much bigger than them, but we want to reward that
Yeah. So say I am a founder or I'm a builder with an idea and I'm interested to talk to you about this FAST grant. And obviously asking for money can be a very daunting procedure. What would your advice be to these kind of founders and developers? Come prepared with what, to what extent, and how should they pitch it to you? How should they talk to you?
So look, it's just a conversation. Don't be afraid. I'm a guy, you're a guy, or a girl, or a he or her, or them,
Or
non-binary.
an Eroid like myself.
Exactly. Yeah. Or a near chan. We just want to talk, and we want to have, encourage creative ideas. And we appreciate that it could be just an idea at this stage, but we're going to help you tease out what the art of the possible is with that idea, by linking you with other similar people within the community.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an idea, and you're not really that involved with the near community, whether you're on the Discord or the forums or anything like that, that would be the first place that I would start. Just pop a message in the Discord and say, hey, you don't have to give away your entire idea, because it could be a gold mine or something like that, and you might want to be protective over that. But it's a good place to bounce concepts around. And then once you've kind of formulated that concept a bit more, then by all means reach out to us. You can catch us on the Discord, on the forums. I'm on Twitter, or just email mark@near.foundation. And it's a business decision at the end of the day. We want to understand how this is going to move the needle. So how is your idea going to increase visibility for the Near Foundation and the near economy? How is your idea going to help your community? How is your idea going to provide opportunities for underprivileged people, or whatever it is? Like, we want to understand those metrics. And if it is a marketplace idea, how are you going to penetrate that market? And the grants that we give, excuse me, will often be, related to developing an MVP or a prototype, or something like that. The best part about the Near Foundation and our grants is they're an enabler, right? If we're to give you a grant, it gives you validation in the wider community that someone believes in me, someone wants to help me succeed. And more often than not, the wider community of VCs and investors will see, okay, the Near Foundation have taken these people seriously. They're giving them some money. Perhaps we can invest in them too. And then, if the project is worthwhile, then you're looking at the real investment from big investors. And that's part of our responsibility as well. We've got to show this community of investors and people who work with the Near ecosystem that we've got a lot of exciting things happening in the place, and we will happily, introduce you to these teams, because they want to speak to you as well. They want to help entrepreneurs and builders build these disruptive, innovative models that are still so young, but they're going to be the lifeblood of everything we do in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think that's also what I kind of wanted to hear, which is the process after the initial grant. Right, you have the initial boost to kind of get your idea started, actually make it, actually realize it, and then now you're saying that it's not just the support doesn't just stop there, right? The Near Foundation, by getting you in the grants program, is also introducing you to their network, their community, so that you can prosper down the road.
Absolutely, that's the key tenet of our ecosystem success team. We've got Todd Murtha and Marcus Ribeiro. I mean, the founders that are working with those guys, they are raving lunatics about them. Todd and Marcus have helped out some of these projects with really great introductions to other teams. There's some good pollination collaboration opportunities happening, as well as introducing them to a wider VC community and helping them get funding. I mean, we're all familiar with Nearnauts. A lot of the stuff that they've done is thanks to, of course, they're a great team and they're executing very well. But Marcus has been operating behind in the shadows. Shadows isn't the right word. It sounds sinister. But he's been in the background at the Near Foundation, introducing them across the team, making sure they're getting the marketing support from the Near Foundation, and then helping them liaise with like the Human Guild to understand how they can build out further utility for the project.
Yeah.
So it's about leveraging the experience and the network that we have in the wider ecosystem to help make your project a success. It's not all about money. It's about the wider community and all people pulling in the same direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be really relieving for founders who are interested, maybe who are trying to get started, to know that you're not just going to be left alone, that you will actually be part of a community when you come to Near.
100%. And it's a special kind of person that is a founder that has an idea and has the gumption to execute and put that idea out there for everyone to see. I think we all have fear of failure, and someone will think my idea is stupid or anything like that. But absolutely not. Like I think founders, their creativity needs to be supported, and not everyone wants to be a founder. People are quite happy working in the background and doing coding or doing marketing or using their network or those kind of things. So it's about marrying the right skills with the right people and making sure you assist them in forming cohesive teams with lots of different skill sets. So absolutely, founders, we want to support you in any way we possibly can.
Yeah. So from the Near Foundation perspective, is there a certain set of criteria for the kind of projects that you're looking for, that you're particularly keen on onboarding? Or would you say that anyone, if you have a cool idea or if you have a viable product, just shoot for it?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we should limit ourselves to any particular kind of project. If you've got an idea and you think that Web3 or the Near blockchain will help you execute that idea, then we're interested in talking. It's we often can be a bit myopic when it comes to crypto, and you think, here's a DeFi application where we can get primitive and derivatives and financial different products, all those kind of things. There's so much more to crypto. I was speaking with a very valued community member about an idea around the fashion industry. And that's got some really cool metrics to it that we could certainly help execute. So any kind of idea that you think you help the blockchain and Web3 technology will help form the underlying technology of that, then absolutely we will be in a position to help you out.
And I think I really admire also the way that you characterize it. It's not just, is your project going to boost Near? It's really, is it moving blockchain and crypto space at large forward?
Yeah, exactly. We've got the North Star. We talked about it, like we want to onboard 1 billion users to Near blockchain over the next 5 or 10 years. But that's not going to happen without having a wider awareness of the tools that Web3 and crypto do provide, wider communities, whether they're financial, whether they're healthcare, whether it's community, whether it's civic, like all these tools are possibly available to you. We want to push the entire space forward.
Yeah. Would you say maybe taking off your Near Foundation hat off for a bit and just kind of just speaking from your heart as Nakamiya, though, what would you say personally is a kind of project or founder you want to see on Near?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I'm extremely passionate about the entire space. So anything that, wow. Yeah, my Near-chan. I wish I had some time to think about this, but ultimately, I want to see people that have completely dismissed crypto using the service without even knowing about it, right? And I think that's what we're going to see a lot more of with our NFT explosions in the space. Like, you're going to be able to interact with NFTs by purchasing them with a credit card or a debit card or anything like that, and the crypto transaction will happen in the background. There's integrations with traditional players like Shopify,
Right.
Payout.com, and all those kind of people that are huge behemoths in the fintech space, and they're really getting into crypto, working out how they operate in the back end.
Yeah.
So I think it is, of course, I think the dream of anyone, but I think it's time for mass market projects that are coming in. And, I can tell you that working in partnerships and growth at Near Foundation, that is absolutely happening. We're talking to some big players.
Nice. And I think it really the conversation right now ties in really well with the mission statement of Astro, which is that they want to bring on Web 2 users onto the Web 3 space. And that's why they were so keen on making it as user-friendly and approachable as possible. And I think that's also what I take away from what you're saying is, if you have a project and you're building on Near because you know that Near is also geared for mass adoption, to make it web friendly, to make it user friendly and very accessible, then bring that kind of project and attitude here, because this is what we are looking for, right?
Yeah, 100%. I'm not sure if you've spoken to the guys or seen Capsule Social, but they're a decentralized kind of social media platform. And social media is very Web 2, but they're building it on top of Near, so full decentralized permissionless blockchain. They've brought that's Web 2 technology to Web 3, and they're building that. That's exactly the kind of project that we want to see. 100%.
Absolutely. Okay, maybe we'll just say kind of last word of advice. I mean, we've been giving a lot of good advice, I think, to anyone who's interested in becoming a Web3 founder. Maybe to sign off, what would you say kind of to encourage people to come join the Near ecosystem, to come talk to you, and just to know, I guess from my perspective, before I ask yours, I really like this point that you made, come join the Discord, come start talking to people. And I think that's a really big aspect of working in crypto, which is that there is this breaking down of barriers and hierarchy, that you could just go to a Discord and literally talk to the founder of Near Protocol. Like, you could be talking to Ilya, you could be talking to Alex and pitching them your project. So don't, don't overestimate the entry barrier and just make yourself available, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be my final thought as well. I was, thinking that it is all about community. We said on the last call as well, and I'll say it to anyone that asks, the best thing about crypto is the sense of community. I've made some amazing friends in this space, and that's where you talk about these ideas, and it really gets the creative juices flowing. And your idea is just an idea at this stage, but every idea has iterations, and those iterations will only get better and better and solidify how good your idea is if you interact with the community and talk your idea through and find like-minded individuals. Takes a village to raise a child. It's all about a team. Together everyone achieves more, all that kind of stuff. You should never feel like you're on your own in this space, because we all want the same thing. So get involved in the communities, talk about your ideas, and when other people talk about their ideas, engage, develop conversation, develop rapport, and that's where the magic is made.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I think that's a great note to close on. If you want to get started, just talk like we're saying, join Near Discord, we'll link it later. Message us on Twitter or Telegram at Rimberjack. I mean, I'm Near Chan right now, but if you wanted to talk, you could also message at Rimberjack. You could message at Nakamiado. Just start talking. And I think the point is that we want you here, and we're willing to help.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself, Rim.
I mean, you mean Near Chan.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Nakamiado. We'll see you later.
Peace out.
Thank you.